when we are thinking of God. To tap to that wavelength, hearing its frequency is like no other. Just the thought of Him gives our darkest days light. Conceptual art is hard to understand at times for the normies alive, but to a point high art is God, though obviously the former is vastly more complex than the latter. And even the concept of God can be explained or identified easier than the modern expression is, and yet one is easier to connect than the other. So maybe then conceptual art is not natural, not an organic form of nature, not a good design, for it is harder to grasp at times than the eternal. And even trying not to understand God is more a difficult chore to tap. The highest concept there is not just a concept at all. The highest point of our genius is when we are thinking of God. To tap to that wavelength, hearing its frequency is like no other. Just the thought of Him gives our darkest days light. Conceptual art is hard to understand at times for the normies alive, but to a point high art is God, though obviously the former is vastly more complex than the latter. And even the concept of God can be explained or identified easier than the modern expression is, and yet one is easier to connect than the other. So maybe then conceptual art is not natural, not an organic form of nature, not a good design, for it is harder to grasp at times than the eternal. And even trying not to understand God is more